Hey there, you, me, and DC fans, and welcome if you are new. I am the stepson of Krypton,
And I'm Mantis.
and today we wanted to discuss a little bit about RDJ and his return to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, we have done a previous video on that. I will have it linked below, but this is exploring a little bit different avenue that we had talked about well before, right after Endgame had released. However, we weren't doing the channel at this time. So, we're going to jump into that today. It's going to be a shorter video just because it's an interesting topic that Mantis had brought up, and we thought, hey, let's go ahead and let's talk about it. And let's get people's opinions on what they think's going on with it. So, without further ado, let's get into the discussion. All right, guys. So it's not new news to hear that obviously Robert Downey Jr. is coming back into the MCU. However, this time playing a villain, playing Doctor Doom. We did a video, the previous video we did on this when the news first broke during Comic-Con of whether or not he was going to be a variant of Tony Stark that becomes Doctor Doom or whether he is playing a completely different character. He just happens to look like Tony Stark and the impact that would have on him. Now, in a previous video discussing bringing characters back, because if you are a fan of this channel, and if you are, we do appreciate you. Mantis and I hate when deaths don't mean anything, right? From the Arrowverse to the MCU to the DCEU and the upcoming DCU. If you're going to kill off a beloved character and you're going to make it a meaningful death, it has to mean something. However, Disney has one advantage over every one of us, every other movie studio, every other source of media out there, and they're rich as fuck. They have so much, they're just printing money that if they want to pay enough, if their franchise is tanking, let's dangle a little bit of cash. Now, Mantis.
Yeah, you say this all the time. Like, if there's any corporation that has fuck you money, it's them. You know,
Gotta love having. I don't think in this life, I'm 41 years old, so I don't think I'll ever get to, unless I win the lottery. And I don't even think lottery winnings isn't really fuck you money. You need to be billionaire.
It's not.
Billionaires fuck you money.
In fact, you get fucked on a lot of that money by the government. So it's more like I'm getting fucked a little bit money.
Yeah. So it's kind of like one of those that, like, if you ever watch the show Billions on Showtime, where he's like, what's the point of having fuck you money if you never say fuck you?
But then again, what's the point of having fuck you money if you never say fuck you?
And he buys something that's like $65 million. That's Disney. And because look what they just did with RDJ. How much are they paying him to come back as Doctor Doom, reportedly?
I heard a couple of different, and they're both relatively, they might as well be the same, 95 to 100 million. I saw tweets on both. But the funny thing was, it's for 2 movies, is reportedly that. And again, you mentioned this before as well, and how they structure these contracts, where the reason why Robert Downey Jr. made so much money previously in the Marvel Studios is because of the way he structured his contracts, taking a little bit on the back, or more on the back end than he did up front. And I'd assume that he's going to do the same here with both of these movies. The interesting thing was, they said that because no one really knew about him coming back, although it was like, if they're ever going to bring anyone back and try and save the MC, it's probably going to be him. Apparently, like, some of these meetings that Feige and him had were very confidential. Only both of those guys were in these meetings, and I'm sure aside from maybe the studio, a couple people at the studio, and then obviously his agent, or Robert Downey Jr.'s agent, for initial conversations on the topic and whatnot. So, it's a pretty nice paycheck for him. I think there's 2 things, I guess. Like, I don't hate on the guy for taking that paycheck. You got to get the money when you can. I don't hate him for doing it. But as you said, I really hate the fact that they keep bringing, or like when someone dies, it just doesn't mean anything. It's like, they'll bring him back from the so-and-so device, or they'll just do the multiverse thing, right? Like, it's pretty common in both universes, or in both both comic book companies, I guess, DC and Marvel. This type of thing happens quite often, so it's not unheard of, obviously. It's just, I hate it.
I hate it.
I hate it more than mayonnaise. You know how much I hate mayonnaise.
Yes, I do.
You know, I don't. After here's the thing, after Game of Thrones was like, you know what? You're dying. I don't care if everyone loves that character. You're dead. Like they didn't care. The writer
R.I.P.
didn't care.
Ned Stark.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I think everyone kind of assumed, you know, he was going to die just because of who the actor was on there. Bean usually dies in every thing that he's in within the first, you know, well, I'll say in the first, but in everything he's in.
He's a good
dies,
dyer.
So. He is. He is. You know, I will say that the whole satellite falling on him was probably my favorite death of his. You know. Because the fall from like, you know, 100 stories didn't kill him. It was the whole satellite falling on him, or not satellite, the dish falling. on him.
In Goldeneye.
Yeah, was probably my favorite death of him. But it's, you know, I mean, I don't know. There's people that are bitching because, you know, they replaced Kang with him. Look, Kang, I can't think of the guy's name now. He had his chance and decided to go crazy on his girlfriend/wife and blew his chances there.
What is the 5 fingers say to the face? What? Slap!
So, you know, and he wasn't going to save it. Jonathan Majors, yeah. He wasn't going to save the MCU, and I don't even know if Robert Downey Jr. can save the MCU at this point. I just don't know if this is going to be enough to do it, and I don't know. I don't think it's... If there anyone could, it would be him, and he's got a good shot at it. My opinion of what they're going to do with his character, Doctor Doom, I kind of think they're going to do the alternate type thing. And I also think they're probably going to bring back in maybe a cameo or just a short section of actual Iron Man in there as well. Maybe peering into the void or like, you know, into a different universe type thing of him back in the suit and whatnot. I could see that happen just as a little, you know, a nod or wink or whatever. But I don't know. It is what it is. And he's going to get paid and that's fucking great for him. Not that he needs it. He's rich as fuck. But you know, more power to him, I guess.
Yeah, it's one of those that again, I honestly believe with RDJ, it wasn't the $100 million paycheck. I mean, it is obviously, but like because he isn't coming back as Iron Man, he is Doom, and that's why I'm really hoping that they don't make him a variant of Tony Stark that becomes Doctor Doom. I hope he is playing Victor Von Doom. And he just looks like him, right? You know, because you do it all the time in these other fucking universes where you're like, oh, this character, like, you know, looks like him, but he's a completely different character. It's just, it's the multiverse. So do that, right? Make him be a completely evil character. Again, he's going to fuck with the minds of the Avengers and the heroes of Earth 616 because he looks like RDJ, but he's not at all. I think that's going to be awesome. Right, and even if he tries to play cool. Like he's getting his memories back or something, but he's really just playing them, and then he starts tugging at the heartstrings, and then he fucking destroys them. You know, like something like that would be cool, but not him coming back as a Tony Stark variant that becomes Von Doom. Right? You said you weren't going to. I don't want to believe you'd sell out for $100 million, but I'm not going to fucking lie. I would sell out for $100 million right now. What do you need me to do on this video to give me $100 million? I'll do it. Other than like, you know, performing sexual acts on another dude. That's not happening.
Well, that's not on Marvel.
We got to go into the B, Mark, if you want that to happen.
Yeah.
I need enough money. That's where the fuck you money comes in.
Yeah. There's got to be fuck you money involved there. Yeah.
So, but I don't. I think it'll be interesting. It's kind of funny that you know, Deadpool and Wolverine obviously is you know, hit over $1 billion. You're going to take 1/10 of that. Now, all of that's not profit. That's gross, right? So you know, that's not, you know, net profit. But even gross profit, you're taking 1/10 of that to give to an actor for potentially maybe 2 movies, if not like, you know, 1 movie and kind of a, I don't know. Again, I don't know how much he's going to play in Secret Wars, even though Doctor Doom is huge in Secret Wars. it'd be interesting if they're going to have as many people as they claim. I don't know that like any one character is going to get a shit ton of like fucking screen time. Everybody's going to get 4 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, if anyone is going to get high screen time, it should be him. Not because he deserves it. One, because he's getting paid the most, but also because everyone likes him. Like he's the reason. Like he is the golden boy of Marvel.
I'm Marvel Jesus, you dull creature, and I want to.
Like the MCU, he's the gold boy.
Well, and you know, of course, a lot of people said that about Deadpool and Ryan Reynolds, right? Like, Deadpool is going to be, and a lot of people have said that, and I've seen a lot of comments where people are like, oh, Deadpool and Wolverine is what's saving the MCU, right? Don't get me wrong, I love the movie. It's an awesome fucking movie, but one movie isn't going to save a dying franchise, right? And I don't even think with RDJ coming back, like you had said earlier, I don't even think with RDJ coming back, like, if you can make a successful Avengers movie, okay, but what's really going to matter is the shit that's going to lead up to Avengers Doomsday. What's Fantastic Four going to be like? You know, that's going to be a big one on that, right? And, you know, you're kind of like you had said in previous videos, I gotta imagine they're gonna have to end up delaying that movie because they're cutting it fucking close. They're still in principal photography.
Yeah, they'll push it back. There's no way they can do it.
Either that or they're gonna have shitty CGI and the movie's gonna see again. Like if that movie and you keep putting out other movies that fail, it doesn't matter if you have RDJ in an Avengers movie. If you don't have any good Avengers, nobody's gonna want to go fucking watch it.
Yeah, and that's the thing too with Fantastic Four being, if they're going to try and release it so close to Superman like they were planning on, I don't care what happens in the Superman movie. That is going to get a huge bump in viewership and at the box office just because it's the first Superman movie in a new director, new actor, new universe. It doesn't matter if it sucks or not. Like you would not want to be anywhere near that opening day if I was Fantastic Four. Like nowhere near that.
Well, you know, it's interesting. So Deadpool and Wolverine held the top spot for the first 3 weekends. I believe it was 3 or 4. I'm pretty sure it was 3. The 4th weekend, Alien Romulus took the top spot. The 5th weekend, Deadpool and Wolverine was back on top spot in cinema. So Alien Romulus dropped like 61 or 62.5% from opening weekend to the second weekend. It was a crazy drop. And Deadpool and Wolverine took the top spot again.
Yeah, I think you'll see that kind of same thing is like, again, there hasn't been a good Alien movie in a bit. And everyone was hoping that movie, I know we're getting off topic here from this, but it kind of relates to the same. I think that's probably why they didn't want to. I can't see them releasing Fantastic Four at that time frame. And again, you're right. Like, I don't know if maybe they're going to do some sort of cameo of RDJ in that movie. It would make sense to do something like that.
Since you're bringing them over, and it depends on how soon you bring them over into the 616 universe. Like, he comes over with, right? Maybe they don't see him, but he gets brought over to that universe as well. That's the perfect time, especially if he is a completely, like, it's just somebody who looks like RDJ or Tony Stark, but he is Victor Von Doom. There's your perfect start, because we already know Galactus is coming over to 616. He's trying to eat us.
And God's just waiting to eat us.
Yes. And then that's what's going to bring them over. However, I'll say I thought the same thing. I thought we were going to get that with Deadpool, right? And we didn't at all. With Deadpool, we said this in our Deadpool Wolverine video. I'll put it up right now. We ended in the same place we started. I mean, no ground was
nothing
made
happened.
up.
Yeah, nothing happened really. I mean, and that could happen. And I guess the last thing I'll say specifically on this video for RDJ. One, good for him getting the money. Get it while you can.
Get the money, dollar bill, y'all.
Two, I think that they're gonna probably put something with him in there as in the Iron Man suit, even if it's like some weird Flash thing where you see different versions around this syndrome. What they did with the Flash. You saw different versions of Superman and different versions of people.
I thought they're a little bit better CGI than the Flash.
It was made to look like that. It wasn't, by the way. No.
Spoiler alert, it wasn't.
Don't let them gaslight you in that shit. And also, I don't think it's going to save the MCU. However, this does give them opportunity to do kind of a soft reboot in the Marvel universe with Secret Wars. I don't know what's planned after that, but if they ever had a chance to do it and they want to do it, here's the time to do it.
So here's the thing: Deadpool Wolverine isn't going to save the MCU. Is my final thoughts, right? But it can help. So if you put out another good movie like Avengers Doomsday and it's good, and Fantastic Four is good, those are building blocks back up to building back your universe, right? And then you have Secret Wars. And then Secret Wars, by the time you get to Secret Wars and you've released a couple of other good movies, those in-betweens to help fill some of the story, holes in there, giggity. Then that's saving the universe. Now we're on upward trend. It's not like you're just going to go from being a really like the MCU's failing to all of a sudden now it's a super success. It's a sliding scale. You have to have multiple things helping build it. It's kind of like, the Superman movie isn't going to save save the DCU and Superman. It's going to be one building block. And then Wonder or the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow's got to be good. And then you got to build, and kind of like what they did with their original 3 phases of movies, right? They built. Yeah.
But I will say, final thought. Just like the Superman movie, this Avengers movie, it may not make or save it, but it can definitely break it and blow it up. If it's not good.
Absolutely. It's kind of like one of those that, like, people remember like the one bad thing, but it takes 10 good things to counterbalance the one bad. That's kind of where you're at with movies. And with the MCU, you've gone so far into the bad and into the stuff that's just, it's away from what the fans wanted, what they've been loving, that your only move is to bring back RDJ, right? That's it. And then maybe Chris Evans, which you brought him back in Deadpool Wolverine as Johnny Storm, and people fucking loved it, right? And one thing that would help you is, I'm going to probably say it in most of our videos involving this type of talk, is give people a fucking Blade movie they're waiting for, right? That'll help your MCU, but we're going to put that on back burner.
It'll take another 5 years for that movie to come out. If it does. Yeah, Wesley Snipes will be in a wheelchair before it comes out. That's what will happen.
He's like, some motherfucker sucks. Trying to ice skate a pill. It's fucking... All right, guys. Before we get off on too many tangents, because we us, we'll keep going. Let us know what you think. Like, is it, even if he's coming back as a hero, or if he's going to be a Tony Stark variant or a completely new character, is it like, do you feel like, well, he's just taking a payday and that's not what the MCU needs? Or do you think he is going to be one of those building blocks that save the MCU? Let us know what you think. I'd be curious. I feel like because he doesn't need the money, it's not just grabbing a payday. I think he likes the idea of playing a villain. But it's good contrast, good mix up. He's been playing heroes so much. But let us know what you think. How are you feeling about the whole thing? I know we've done a previous video on it, but now that we have kind of a paycheck tied into what he's getting paid for these, it'd be really interested to hear how people are feeling on that. And if you have made it with us this far, we do appreciate it. Consider video like. He's holding it up. I'm gonna have it crushing. Liking the video, subscribing to the channel so you never miss any of our insanity, and then clicking the little bell notification so you get the alerts. We're trying to do 2 and 3 releases a week right now. Hopefully that's not too much for you, but we're trying. We're trying to get content out there for you guys because there's a lot of information going on, and it's probably only going to ramp up from here. So,
yep.
Mantis?
So we appreciate everyone watching.
We do appreciate all of our subscribers, both new and old. And I meant that as old, subscribing to the channel from the beginning old.
Yeah, not your age old. But we do like you guys too.
Yeah, we don't age discriminate, but just not what I was talking about there. So before we get canceled, we're gonna go ahead and end this. So for this episode of You, Me, and DC, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it. Until next time, guys, we will see you then.
Later.